You've got big dreams, and you may even have a vision board tucked somewhere in your room. But when you look at your money reality, it's not quite matching the version of you that you know you could be living. But deep down, I know that you are ready for a more luxurious and more financially free life. Not just in your bank account, but the way you feel, how you walk into rooms, how you make decisions in life. Hi, my name is Jasmine, and on this channel, we talk all about becoming the woman of your dreams and building a life that you absolutely love. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 6 unconventional habits and strategies to align with the financial upgrade that you've been trying to call in. This video is about upgrading who you are with money, the way you earn, the way you keep, the way you grow money. I'm going to also be sharing shifts on how to expand your financial ceiling, rewire your sense of self-worth, and help you finally stop playing small when it comes to your income, your vision, and your freedom. I've included chapters for this video so you can skip around. You can also find the timestamps in the description below. And if you are ready to do the real work, I'm not just talking about watching these videos, but actually transforming. I provide worksheets for every single one of my videos. In these worksheets, I provide in-depth journaling prompts as well as practical exercises to help you start removing those limiting beliefs and to help you write an action plan so you can start living out as your highest self immediately. The link to access these worksheets are all down in the description below. So now let's dive into our very first goal. Build specialized knowledge that only you can replicate. We're now living in a time where the most powerful thing you can do isn't about being a jack of all trades. It is now all about being deeply good at something that only you can do in your own way. Become so valuable and so uncopyable that you become your own competition. I want to introduce what specifically is specialized knowledge. It's the type of knowledge that feels like play to you, but it looks like work to others. You've developed this specific knowledge through curiosity, not actually through coursework. It comes from your personality, your story, and your obsessions, and it can't be taught easily, outsourced, or automated. It's not something that someone can directly teach you or hand it down to you, but it reveals itself to you when you keep doing it and you have this natural obsession for it. Some examples are if you were in high school and you loved gossiping and you loved getting to know the drama behind those high school seniors, then you can make a career on TikTok discussing celebrity relationships. Maybe you even have a God-given gift of knowing and understanding aesthetics. You probably had a Tumblr or Pinterest page growing up, and you can use that to build your own luxury branding design business. If you are someone who loves to give life advice, or you love being there for your friends when they're going through tough times, then maybe being a therapist is something that is natural to you. So reframe here is stop trying to be well-rounded, because when you do, you water down your value. Be so well-rooted in the one thing that comes easily to you, that feels natural to you, and that you know that you can outwork everybody in the industry because you're just so passionate about it. The next thing is to stop fixing your weaknesses. The more that you allocate all of your attention on your weaknesses, the more weaknesses you're going to find. You're essentially growing that pile, growing that list of weaknesses because you don't feel like you're enough. You still feel like you're lacking in certain areas, but fixate your attention and energy on your strengths. What are you currently good at now? And how can you change your career, change your side hustles to start embracing those strengths? Because success will come so much easily and so much faster to you when you start focusing on your strengths. I know this sounds really obvious, but when you do a full life audit around what kind of choices you're making, what kind of jobs you're subjecting yourself to, when you do this, you will realize how much you've been working against your strengths. The second goal is to build your peace cushion fund. So what is a peace cushion fund? It's a savings cushion that lasts 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses. A lot of experts talk about the importance of saving for emergencies or building an emergency fund. But notice the language behind emergency funds. It feels very restrictive, and it feels like you can only access that money if something really bad happens. You only get a very limited amount of time on this planet. And it matters that every second that goes by, you were either feeling aligned, empowered, or happy. And in order to live well and be a free human, you need to have options. But what if this fund can also be used around protecting your peace, protecting your dignity? And it just gives you the privilege to make empowered decisions in your life. What the fund gives you is the freedom to leave a very toxic situation. So when you are in a situation where your partner or your boss disrespects you or even abuses you, then when you have this peace cushion fund, you're able to leave those situations. Another thing that you can do is you have the freedom to take a sabbatical. If you are clearly burnt out from your job and you're lacking that sense of inspiration and fun in life, and you just want to step away from your day-to-day life to go travel, then this fund can also be able to provide that. What about exploring a new career? Because if your career does not light you up, or if you want to pursue a new business idea, then having a peace cushion fund can give you the freedom to explore this option on a deeper level. The whole point of this fund is to show you that you can live life on your own terms. If you've ever been financially dependent on someone, whether it's your partner or your parents, you probably know how disempowering it feels because you will have to live according to the rules of your parents or your partner, and they'll always have some sort of opinion or stake in your life. When you do not have this freedom fund to walk away and to find your own life, sure, you may not be paying rent, but you pay with your mental health, you pay with your autonomy. You don't have to build your peace cushion all at once. Even as simple as putting $100 down can really help you feel a bit more peace of mind in the next few months, that you're saving for your escape. This really gives you the opportunity to not settle in your current reality or settle in your current situation that is clearly making you stressed, clearly making you sad and upset, because there's a whole other life out there. There's a whole other reality that is so much more fulfilling and so much more fun. And this is just your opportunity to really save up for that cushion so you can walk away with peace of mind. The third goal is to schedule money dates. A lot of people experience such negative emotions around money, and that's why a lot of people are afraid of checking their bank account. They see money as this distant thing that they will deal with only when they really, really need to. But here is the thing. Money is purely a relationship. It's very similar to your relationship with your partner, a relationship with your mom, and the way you treat money says a lot about how your financial well-being, how your financial situation is doing. Do you avoid money? Do you obsess over money? Do you feel guilty and shameful every time the topic comes up? So what is on the agenda with these weekly dates? Let's first focus on the more practical audit. Number 1, look at how much you spent that week. And then number 2, check where you may have gone over or under budget. Number 3, see where money might be leaking or being used in ways that don't feel aligned. Number 4, reflect on progress towards your financial goals. So are you getting closer? Are you getting further? And number 5, strategize what needs to shift in the week ahead, whether it's saving, spending, or earning. Now, the next part of this weekly money date is to audit your money mindset, how you see yourself, your self-worth, your self-identity, your wealth mindset. All of this shapes what kind of financial decisions you end up making. So it doesn't matter how many job applications you send out or how much you budget. The fact is, if your identity is not aligned with the goal that you want, nothing will happen. That's why in this part of the audit, it's all about attuning to your old money stories. This is your opportunity to reflect on the week. What were some triggers that came up for you? What were some emotions that you felt around money? Then release those emotions, release all of those negative beliefs, and then rewire into the version of you that you want to become. I also want to acknowledge the resistance around these money dates because they are going to feel very foreign, very awkward to you because money is a very scary subject for a lot of us. If we lived and experienced a lot of lack growing up, when we look at our financial statements, when we look at our balance, it can bring a lot of upset and a lot of shame. But this is also the very reason why we need to look at this even more. It's going to feel very emotionally painful, but this is the start to all types of change. Change is always going to be hard to begin with. Money is simply a neutral resource. It is your emotions and your feelings towards money that isn't. But you're allowed to feel and process and change your relationship with money. That's what this is all about. So start scheduling a weekly money date in your calendar and make sure that when you block it in your calendar, that nothing takes priority over this money date. And I would schedule roughly 1 to 2 hours, depending on how much capacity you have, to review your finances, to review your mindset. The more that you show up for your money, the more you're going to feel confident around your financial future. The fourth money goal is income stream diversification. We are now living in a time where layoffs, restructuring, AI integrations, these are all things reshaping the industry faster than ever. Depending on one employer is actually not as safe as it used to be. And now, having financial safety is about having more options. Think of the economy like unpredictable weather, constantly raining opportunities. But if you only have one bucket out there catching all the rain, which is your 9-to-5 job, you are essentially limited to the amount of rain that you can collect. Diversifying your income is like placing multiple buckets under different streams of abundance. Some of these may only collect a few drops of rain at first. Other streams might even surprise you and start overflowing. This is really about opening up new channels for the universe to support you even more. I have 4 different income streams. The first is YouTube. The second is my full-time job. The third is my branding design business, and then I also invest in stocks, so I receive dividends every now and then. Diversifying your income doesn't mean that you need to have 5 jobs at the same time, but it's about creating small and intentional income streams that compound over time. There are so many other versions of diversification, like releasing a small digital product, earning affiliate income from products that you already use, or even monetizing an existing hobby like art. Social media really likes to glamorize this narrative of I quit my job to pursue my goals and dreams kind of ordeal, and I actually do not necessarily agree with that school of thought because I have found that when I am doing my best work, I am usually in a place of financial security. I can pay my own bills and I'm not waiting for my dreams to feed me. If you are currently on the pursuit of building something new in your life, keep your 9-to-5 and just work after hours, and then when you have the financial means to leave your 9-to-5, then you can do that then. But in the meantime, if you're starting at zero and income is unpredictable, it is really hard to create your best work. So be open to expanding into different income streams and start exploring your options. What excites you? What is something that you believe that you can grow? And in the future, do you see it growing into something even bigger? Life is unpredictable and it will take you on so many different turns. And you might even be surprised the one side hustle that you build tomorrow might explode in the next year or two. The fifth goal is to make money your laborers. Money is currently living rent-free in your bank account. It's time to stop letting your money go to rest and start putting it to work. A lot of the traditional financial advice that we receive is all about saving money, cutting back on expenses, living a smaller life, restricting yourself from experiencing more by saving more. But wealth is not built through restriction. It is built through expansion. It's built through the narrative of how can I earn more? Saving has its place, but saving alone will not buy you the life of freedom. When you're 80 years old and you're sitting on this huge pile of cash, what can you even do? It's that when you're old, there aren't that many options anymore, and the options just don't feel as exciting. Spending money and living a life of wealth is only fun when you're young. When I first learned about investing, stocks, ETFs, it is scary because I felt like I was actually doing grown-up things. But you'll come to realize that learning how to invest, learning about the stock market, learning about personal finance, it's all just a new language. It's like learning how to speak English, learning how to speak Chinese, or whatever new language. Money is simply the same. You are not caged by the identity that your family has passed down to you, or even if you weren't good at math, you don't have to be good at math to have financial literacy. So this is how you get started. The first thing is to start with 10% of your income. Automatically allocate at least 10% into your investment account. If you don't have 10%, just putting $100 is more than enough. And start making this a monthly ritual. Every time you receive your paycheck, just put in 10% of that amount to your investment account. The second thing is to only invest in stocks that you fully understand. So if you don't understand, you can obviously learn it, but start with beginner-friendly stocks or ETFs, things that you personally can get behind and know what your money is going towards. Start with brands that you genuinely see a future behind. My recommendation is that if you are new to the game, I highly recommend checking out ETFs. ETFs are essentially a batch of many different companies into one stock. So if one company underperforms, there will probably be another company that is doing slightly better. So it helps diversify the risk. Do your research, read as many books as you can about financial literacy and investing in the stock market, because that is going to help your strategy around making money your laborers. The sixth goal is building community and relationship wealth. Being in the right rooms, surrounded by abundant and high-value people, will expand your financial ceiling way faster and way more than any budgeting financial spreadsheet ever could. We often view building wealth as something that we do alone. But the truth is, wealth is actually deeply relational. To be around people where your wealth is normalized can feel really empowering. Energy is contagious, and so is lack. If you constantly surround yourself with people who downplay their potential, avoid money conversations, or just fear growth entirely, the more you hang out with these people, your subconscious mind will actually shrink to match that level. And that includes romantic partners as well. If your partner is hyper frugal, if your partner doesn't see the potential in themselves, or they're not really interested in growing their career or growing their life any further, then that will rub off on you. Community can quietly, but so profoundly, can change the trajectory of your life. Now, you don't need to surround yourself with people that are living high society lives. You don't have to be around people that are making billions of dollars, but simply other women that are on pursuit to finding greater financial freedom for themselves. This is my criteria when it comes to finding aligned women. Number one, they believe in possibility, not limitation. Number two, they take consistent action towards their goals. Number three, they're actively doing the inner work around money and mindset. Number four, they celebrate ambition and they don't feel like they need to compete with other women. And five, they encourage and actually celebrate your evolution. So start upgrading your circle, because the more you upgrade your circle, the more it will upgrade your life. And we have reached the end of this video. I hope this video gave you more clear directions on how to upgrade and expand your financial life. If you enjoyed this video, I highly recommend checking out 10 selfish decisions that you need to make in order to live a softer life. This video is going to shift the way that you see boundaries, spending, and earning, and to help you start choosing yourself financially without any sort of guilt. And if you want to dive deeper and implement everything that I've taught in this video, be sure to sign up for my worksheets, which are down in the description below. And lastly, if you are on the journey of becoming the woman of your dreams and building a life that you absolutely love, subscribe to my channel. I talk a lot about relationships, money, high-value woman energy, and so much more around being the best version of yourself. I love you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in all the way to the end, and I hope to see you next week. Bye!